himself well at this tournament. He's the debutant, he's the new boy. I'm sure we'll be seeing him again if in fact this is the end of his event.
He's a very likeable guy. Spends a lot of time chatting away with everybody at the event. But as you say, Cass, we'll see him many times in the future. Belmonte, a turkey for him. That might just have put the lid on this match.
To go with the double that he started with in frames 1 and 2, he's pacing 279 for this second game. It'll be fantastic if he can go right off the sheet.
It'll be fantastic for Belmonte and Australian bowling, definitely. Not so good for this young man. Very well done. Takes some character to come back from the disappointments that Badr Sheikh has had to suffer in this quarter-final. And he's come back with a strike. And as we often say, it's time to leave this Barnsley crowd with something to remember him by.
Yeah, it's been a big learning curve for Badr, and I'm sure he's taken advantage of that. Playing in this sort of arena style. There's his score. It's decent. It's not quite high enough, I'm afraid, for this level at this particular event. Belmonte, will he turn the screw? Goes to close the game up. Another 4 strikes in a row and still paces 279 in the second game.
Yeah, he turns it big time, and Belmonte on course for another big finish.
Well, I guess he's the #1 amateur player, if you can call him an amateur, in the world at the moment. To all intents and purposes, it's a full-time bowler, so that is a professional. Flying off to Florida, he tells me, after this event, and then back to Sweden, Middle East, and eventually gets back home to South Australia in about 3 weeks' time.
That's better. Messenger doing its job this time for Badr, and he turns in a double. Probably too little, too late. But a nice couple of words exchanged between he and Belmonte. Along the lines of unlucky, mate, I should think, from Jason Belmonte. But
yeah, as I say, they've met before in competition, and you know, they acknowledge one another's and respect one another. For Badr, it's almost a damage limitation job just at the moment. Belmonte's on a rip-up, absolutely ripping this lane apart.
5-bagger for Belmonte. I guess we can start to talk about the semi-final then. The 2Bs, Belmonte versus Barnes, the world's top amateur, versus many people's choice as the world's top pro.
Certainly going to be a match that could have been the final, but yes, it will be the first semi-final. The Battle of the Bees. Belmonte's looking pretty relaxed now. I think he's very much aware that the game is over. He's certainly not going to give anything away. And Badr can't catch up.
Nice work though, Turkey from Badr Sheikh, and as I said before, character required to keep smiling through this, to try and turn in the best possible finish that you can get, because there's always that never say never element to Tenpin. But with Belmonte in this sort of form, I think you can pretty much rule that out. 442, the maximum still available if he can strike off the sheet from here.
Yeah, he'll be through the 200 barrier for the second game. One more for Belmonte. Not quite, just a fraction high on the hairpin. Leaves the 4 and the 7 standing in the corner. He's not going to worry about that. Straightforward spare.
Well, some terrific quarter-finals still to come, involving some of the biggest names in the world of Tenpin. Jason Belmonte and Chris Barnes in semi-final 1 amongst them. But some great games to come, the likes of Dominic Barrett and Remy Ong, all still involved in this tournament.
Oh, Paul Moore and Alex Luth. Just give them a mention, shall we?
Moore's many people's favourite, isn't he, to finally do it this year. And he looks so good in his first round match, it has to be said.
Yeah, he's Third attempt, beaten last year and the year before. Hoping to go one better this year. 10th frame for Badr Sheikh. Shoots 4 strikes in a row, and he's finishing in some sort of style here. He's going out with his head held high.
Yeah, well played.
Showing some of the form that he showed in Doha recently at the Asian Games, where he won the 2 gold medals. What a prospect for the future this young man is. A pioneer of bowling, Tenpin bowling from the Middle East. Many years at the highest level in front of him. 2 bonus balls in the 10th frame. Well, just tried to open the lane up and open his shoulders up on that last shot, but it didn't quite work. A little wry smile. Gives himself the 2-8 in the 10-pin. Not a nasty split, but it doesn't matter. It's the 10th frame, and unfortunately the match is all over for Badr.
Nice to see that sort of reaction, though. Very easy to get yourself into a downward spiral of emotions when things aren't going your way on this single lane. Good work. Just took those 2 pins out, but leaves it open as he did in the first game in the second. And that means that Jason Belmonte can come out to throw his final 3 balls and enjoy himself a little bit. We had a lot of enjoyment in his game with Jens Nickel. We had 2 trick shots to finish off from Belmo, and with that strike I think the crowd will demand that we see something. But as always, players very careful that they are being respectful to their opponents. I think once you've established that you and your opponent are both singing from the same song sheet up on the stage, then you can have a bit of fun with it, and I don't think Badr will mind if Jason throws down a couple of trick shots.
What's he got? What's going to be a backup left-handed shot, one-handed shot? Could be one through his legs, maybe.
Well, the between the legs, he says he hasn't made that many times, but he certainly nailed it for us in the first round, and it was a cracker.
Yep. No, he's just taking a rest while we have a re-rack. The pins haven't quite appeared. Now they're down. Now what's Jason going to do? Oh, conventional 2-handed delivery.
Yeah, he wants to lock into this lane, doesn't he, Cass? He wants to send a message out to a certain Chris Barnes ahead of the semi-final. No antics at all on the stage yet from Jason. He's tempted, you can see that.
He needs a strike to go through the 500 barrier. This is a trick shot. Oh, it's the 2-handed backup.
Oh, nearly.
Only takes 9.
Nearly. Good effort. 256 he finishes with in his second game, and he does make the 500 aggregate across the 2 games. That's a nice touch between these 2 players. Well, Badr Sheikh might have nice and easy on the sticker on his shoe, but it was anything but in this quarter-final. He's been a welcome addition to this tournament, but he takes his leave, and it's Jason Belmonte of Australia that goes through to the semi-final.
So 2 quarter-finals settled, and the defending champion Chris Barnes knows he'll face a red-hot Jason Belmonte in the semi-finals. Next up, Alex Liu of Malaysia takes on Paul Moore of England, a runner-up here for the past 2 years.
These bowlers are all great friends, but at the lane there's no time to play nice. Jason Belmonte took the lead with some impressive deliveries to win his place in the semi-final. Alex Liu, Asian ranking #1, and Paul Moore with a string of wins to his name join us next time to take their place in the semi-final. Don't forget to be there for the partypoker.net World 10-Pin Masters.